Hey, what's up, Long Beach? I'm your host, Julia Goldman, and you're listening to Season 4, Episode 2 of Artist Banter, a daily 49er original podcast that delves into the many manifestations of artistry within our local scene. We have our studio today decorated in the spirit of Valentine's Day. Started with 4 balloons, now we have 2. But we have a special episode of Artist Banter, and we're doing Valentine's Day activities and crafts. So if you'd like to watch, please tune into our YouTube channel. Today, we're featuring Ceci Apitz and Gavin Arevalo, 2 students from our industrial design department on campus. Thank you so much for being here today, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so would you like to introduce yourselves? I'd love to hear about what you guys do.
Okay, I'm Ceci. I'm a student here at Cal State Long Beach studying industrial design. I'm in my 2nd year. I'm about to go up for portfolio review. So,
oh, wow.
Very exciting and scary.
Oh, yeah. My name is Gavin Arevalo. I am also an industrial design student and also going through portfolio. We're going through the same crazy, awfully stressful thing right now, which is great. But yeah.
You guys are making through it.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a couple questions here about everything that you do, but I have some art supplies here if you guys wanted to make some Valentine's Day cards.
Yes.
Well, I ask you some questions, so
Most
feel
definitely.
free.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
So I understand that you, Ceci, you have a larger focus on 3D art and sculpting, while Gavin practices physical art. Can I hear about how artistry began for both of you?
Yeah, well, I think I started getting into art a lot probably in elementary school. I started up with drawing. It's pretty accessible, everybody knows about it, easy to get into. And then it wasn't until high school that I kind of found the world of sculpting and doing more 3D art. I was originally taking AP 2D art in my junior year, and then my senior year I wanted to try 3D art.
Mm-hmm.
So I took AP 3D art, and it kind of opened up this new world, and I was like, wow, I love this so much more than drawing. This is so much more fun to me. So it's pretty recent that I got into it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about you?
For me, my dad kind of instilled an artist eye in me, so he loved drawing and such, and I also loved drawing growing up. I liked superheroes and all that, so I would draw my own characters and whatnot, and I still love doing that to this day.
Oh, you had some OCs?
I got some OCs. I mean, personally, I just call them my dudes, but it's I've been working on that for a bit, and I just try to improve my drawing skills, but also try to learn about other things. I love switching styles. I'm not consistent at all. I constantly switch styles. So I can't say I'm very proficient in just drawing, but I love doing all kinds of stuff.
That's so cool. What led you both to the field of industrial design specifically?
Well, my mom is actually in industrial design, so I've had an introduction to it pretty early on. I originally wanted to do architecture, and I took this it was during COVID, so I took this online summer camp with University of Cincinnati, and they had an architecture one that I did one summer, and the next summer I was like, you know what, I'll try industrial design and see how it goes. And I loved it way more than architecture. And I was like, okay, I think it was the summer between my junior and senior year of high school. So it was figuring out what I want to do, what college I want to go to. And yeah, I just fell in love with industrial design.
May I ask you why, differences in architecture, industrial design, why you fell in love with?
Yeah, I felt industrial design, it's a lot more I think problem solving. The project we did for the industrial design camp, we had to design a game controller for a girl who only had one arm. So it was it kind of, I realized I could use industrial design to help people and make things more accessible, and I really like the idea of doing that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What about you, Gavin?
Yeah, you have a very like modest and like for me I was very just intrigued by like the idea of being able to do art and something art adjacent and make some pretty decent money. I think my family just kind of always had that like, you know, you gotta like they were always very, you know, supportive. But they kind of, you know, they were being realistic also. They were just telling me, like, you know, you're not going to make much money off of being an artist. And, you know, I understood that later on. And so I had a family friend's brother who did industrial design, and he had the same start as me. He loved sketching and doing, like, not really, like, he didn't draw, like, I think he drew cars, you know, so it's very industrial design, like, it's prevalent. But he started out sketching and stuff, and then he just kind of got into that, and I was just like, yeah, you know what? That seems very interesting, actually. And I've only loved it more and more since then. It's just gotten more and more interesting.
Yeah. How's the program been like at Cal State Long Beach?
Oh, it's really good. I think, in my opinion, I really do like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty great program.
We got a lot of good professors, and
Tough.
they're tough, but I love that about them.
Yeah, because, like, in industrial design, I feel like most design and, like, art majors, you have to learn how to take criticism.
Oh, yeah.
So it's good to just, like, have tough teachers in the beginning because you get used to it.
You have to. Otherwise, you're gonna sink, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And not only the professors, well, it's that, and because I've just heard from the only person in my family who's had college experience is my stepfather, and he told me from his experience, he said that it's very, you know, like you go to college, you're learning on your own. These professors are going to be teaching the room, you know, you're not really like, they're not gearing towards you in any way. But I found in industrial design, it's very like, it's a much closer knit relationship that you have with a professor. It's more intimate. Yeah. I think. He looks over your work. He or she looks over your work, and they critique your work.
Yeah, therefore you must be more receptive.
Yeah, and it's way better for me, at least. I'm operating wise and like my education, that's rather where I strive, you know, being able to like have a back and forth, that kind of thing.
That's really cool. I'm glad the program like allows you guys to grow like that.
Yeah.
So it was in the industrial design program that you both met, right?
It was.
How'd that happen?
Okay. It's a pretty cute story.
Yeah,
it was like, yeah, I'll tell it. Originally we met, okay, so last year we both were in the dorms, and they had like a speed friending event, and it was at what's the dorm name? The North? Parkside North.
Parkside North, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like it was this event, and there was a ton of people, and basically they would just like, someone on the microphone would ask a question, and you'd have to find someone with like the same answer, or find someone to answer the question with. And we ended up in this group with like 5 people, and we're talking, and we go, okay, what's everyone's majors? And we go around. I say industrial design, and then it gets to him, and he goes, oh, I'm industrial design too. And I was like, oh, no way. Like, I haven't met, like, it's a pretty small, like, major, so I, like, hadn't met anyone in it yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what classes do you have? We compared schedules, and at first, like, I don't think we had any classes together. I don't know if we made a mistake. Really?
Well, actually, yeah, no, at first we did make a mistake. We didn't think we had any classes together.
Yeah, we didn't think we had any classes. Yeah. And then first day of school rolled around, and I'm walking to, I think it's my first class of the year, and I see him like open the door, and I was like, oh, look who it is. Cute boy. And then, you know, we ended up having like 3 classes together. Yeah, and we sat next to each other in each one. We talked all the time. Yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything that I missed.
Yeah, you kind of got it. I think it was just mostly the little details of like, I was just super excited to see you like, again, because I was worried I wasn't for some reason. I was like, you know, because it kind of what happened at the meet, and then, you know, it was just kind of like, she was really cool. I really hope, like, we could, something, you know, like, I could see her again, and whatever, right? But, I don't know, there's always, you know, I was just kind of like, yeah, but, you know, it's a big school.
So cute.
You know, whatever.
Yeah. I totally understand too. Like immediately like hitting it off with someone in your major.
Yeah.
Maybe not always romantically, but like as soon as I transferred to Cal State Long Beach and like walked foot in the Daily 49er, I'm around all these different people that are like really passionate about journalism. And it's so easy to make conversation.
Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
It's inspirational.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So going on from that, who asked the other out first? Like, how did that go?
Ooh.
Okay, well, I think I want to say
I think I made the first.
You've made a lot of the first moves.
I made a lot of the first moves.
She has made a lot of the first moves, and I'm not.
At this point,
you know,
we were
I'm
friends.
fine with that.
Yeah, at this point, we were friends. I think we both liked each other, definitely.
Yeah.
But we were friends, and my roommate was gone for the weekend, and I was like, I was texting, I was like, hey, like, do you want to have, like, a movie night? Like, you know, I was like, my roommate's gone, hint, hint, like.
And I was like, oh, cool, a movie. That's awesome. You know, like, that sounds so awesome. Yeah, you know what? I will come over. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like.
It's very innocent.
We ended up having a sleepover, and, you know, it went well. And we were kind of doing, like, a friends with benefits type of thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, okay, also funny story.
What are you about to say?
Don't worry. We were just like at a party, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I love you, and he was like, I love you too. It was like 3. No, it wasn't 3 months. It was like maybe 1 month in.
Yeah.
To like whatever we had going on.
Well, that's what.
Sometimes you just know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But even still, like, you know, I had never been in a relationship before, and so I didn't know a lot. I didn't know if that was like a what is it, like a green or red flag, whatever, right? I didn't know if it was a flag of any sort.
Yeah.
I was just feeling what I was feeling, and I go off of that. I go off of that. So I'm like, you know, all I know is that, you know, I really, really like you. And I hope I still really, really like you, you know, like for a while. Like, I think that's what's happened, you know. Yeah. It's just, I was like, God, I hope she remembers this tomorrow. I was like, I really hope she remembers this tomorrow morning. And you did. It was great. We were both like, we got up and we were like, yeah? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yes.
It's like the fear of like, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, is this really, truly real?
Yeah. No.
Aw.
But yeah.
What are the benefits of being in the program together?
Oh, I think there are definitely a lot.
Oh,
first thing first, we don't have to do all-nighters alone, which is really nice. Like, I feel like in the program you do have to pull a couple of all-nighters, or a lot. And it sucks doing them alone. Like, headphones on, you're just, like, looking at the clock, it's 4 a.m., and you're like, oh.
All-nighters are just awful.
Yeah.
By the way.
But, like, him being there with me and, like, working on the same thing, it definitely makes it go by a lot faster. It makes it easier. And it's definitely more, like, encouraging and motivating. And, you know, we're always there for each other. We're like, we got this. Like,
oh, yeah. The motivation's a huge factor. Because, like, there's so many times and I'm sure you felt the same, where you were just like, I cannot do this anymore. I am, you know, there's always a time period where you're just like, it's so rough right now. It is so rough. Why am I doing this to myself right now? You know, I could be, you know, doing my passion. I could be doing, you know, not graphic design. Like, I don't know, art more leaning, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think, for one, you're kind of an amazing, like, student, I think. Like, she's very, like,
thank you.
she gets her work done, and she does it well. Like, she always goes beyond expectation, and I'm always like, they don't ask for that. Why are you doing this when they don't even ask?
She delivers.
She does, and I admire that, and it helps me, like, move ahead and
Yeah.
get my thing forward. So that's always.
And
really
we end
nice.
up having like a lot of the same classes, so we'll have a lot of the same homework, and we're like, oh, like we always go to like the library, the coffee shop. We were always like, oh, you want to go to the library? And I'm like, down, and we stay there for like 6 hours, and
Pumping it out. Yeah.
And it's just nice having someone to do it all with.
Aw.
Mm.
Have you guys worked together on anything?
Not like, I don't think industrial design projects. We haven't really gone into like group projects yet.
Yeah, no. We have like worked. We've had same projects and literally like worked alongside. Like that's what's great too. We were able to like look at each other's and critique each other's art and stuff. So it helps a lot.
I totally understand.
But so far we haven't worked on.
I
like,
feel
something.
like we bounce ideas off each other a lot.
Mm.
So like, a lot of his like inspiration will be seen in like my project, and maybe same with his.
Yeah.
So there's like that aspect, but so far we haven't like done like a project like fully together.
That's okay. I'd love to hear about maybe like a project that you've done that's meaningful to you. Like it doesn't have to be industrial design, individually.
Oh.
But if you wanted to talk about that.
Okay. Do you have anything more?
Do you want to go first?
Let's see, and something that's meaningful. Okay, well, I mean, I'm just gonna say like a thing that was really important for me. I love like comic books and like the culture of like like that art style and that like I love it all. So it's always been like a passion of mine to like make my own comic book and like create my own characters and such, right? So I actually made a zine. They call it a zine. I say zine. I helped produce a zine, which is like a collaboration of artists for like a booklet kind of thing. It's like short comics, and I put in a 5-page comic. And one that I was really proud of. I mean, I always have a problem with procrastination and like, getting something right at the end there, barely making it on time. I'm like, does it even look good? Am I even proud of this? But at the end of the day, it was something I created, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I produced something, and they printed it out, and we sold it. Like it was a whole thing. I was like, this is awesome. I got it put in I actually had it sold from a comic book store too.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, you're published.
Yeah, I was like, this is awesome. Like this is so cool. Yeah.
Bit of like a passion project too.
Yeah, most definitely. Not industrial design related by any means. Yeah, but art related.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I think this project was like one of the most important ones to me. It was like right before college, because I feel like I haven't had much time to do my own art with industrial design, but it was for like the AP art test, and we had to answer a question that we came up with ourselves. And I was like, okay, what if I like talk about how like in America we put like a lot of like chemicals and unnecessary things in our food to like make them cheaper, and like how a lot of the stuff was like banned in Europe and all that.
Yeah.
So I did a series of like food sculptures that were made completely out of like trash and like things that like cannot be consumed like whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I did 4 different pieces. It was like a hamburger and fries, a bowl of cereal. It's like a TV dinner and like a lunch tray.
Yeah, it's just true. It's like in kids' meals.
Yeah. And
so cool.
yeah, it was super like successful. I did well on the test, and I ended up submitting it to like KCRW had this like young creators contest. I ended up submitting it to it like super last minute. I was like, yeah, I probably won't win, whatever, I'll just do it. And then I ended up winning.
Yeah.
Which I just really did not think that was gonna happen. And they had this cool event, and I got to meet all these other artists, and it was really fun. So that project definitely is like near and dear to my heart.
Aw.
And when I have time, I try to I just call it my food art. I
Yeah.
try to still do like some food art.
Uh-huh.
And right now I'm like working on like a breakfast plate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
What materials are you using for that?
So that one, the egg yolks, I cut like ping pong balls in half, and I put like this yellow resin on top, and the bacon. Okay, so that's like a work in progress so far, but I got, the binder dividers, like the plastic thin ones. I cut those, and then I like burned them, and they got all crinkly.
They got crispy.
Like, yeah. And they look kind of like bacon. I just kind of have to like paint them. And then the pancakes, they're like, I think I went to Daiso actually, and they had these like foam, like sponges, and I just cut them into circles, and I shaved them down, and they just look like little pancakes.
Fluffy.
Yeah.
That is so cool. It's like such creative sourcing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's very impressive stuff. Yeah. Like, I loved your food art so much. She showed that to me, and we were like, when we had like a lunch one time, and it was like we went to the dining hall together, and we talked for like a while.
I think it was like 3 hours.
It was like 3
They
hours.
went through the lunch and dinner cycle.
Yeah. Like we talked through the lunch and dinner cycle, and we were just sitting there yapping away. And yeah, that's like, I think you showed me your food art then at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Aw.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we have a little like, do you love me? Do you love me not? Inspired activity. So I have these flowers here. These flowers are locally sourced. My neighbor garden, but one for each of you. Oh, well put.
Poor neighbor. Which one do you want?
I'll take this.
And I'm gonna rapid fire a couple questions at you guys. Whoever is chosen, take off 2 petals off the flower, and then we'll just keep going until there's no petals left.
Right.
And then, for example, if like I ask who's a pickier eater, and we both agree that Ceci is, then take the petals off the flower.
Okay. I see. Okay, so the person we pick takes the petals off.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. That's
All
where I
right.
was gonna get confused.
So who's more extroverted?
Gavin, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I think.
All right. I think who's more likely to stay up all night to finish an art project?
Oh.
Just kind of both do it together, huh?
Yeah, but who would?
I think you've done it more than I have.
I think so. Well, I'm. My mother called me a. Sorry. I know.
I say Gavin.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. There we go.
Who's more goofy with their art?
Oh, also Gavin.
I just do more sketches.
Yeah.
Like you don't like give enough time to yourself to like
Yeah.
do little side sketches and stuff, for funsies.
Mm-hmm.
Who's more competitive?
I think that would probably go to me.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm winning, by the way. Oh, wait.
Who spends the most on art supplies?
I think
Would that go to you?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I
I've
agree.
all my different styles. It's a
My art's
nightmare.
made out of trash, so pretty easy to get.
Very true.
Got this one earlier, but who's a better student?
Definitely
I think
you.
that'll go to me.
Definitely you. Yeah.
Who's the jester? Like, who cracks the most jokes?
Ooh. I think
Well-
that would go to you, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're both pretty funny. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I'll definitely take it.
Who has the most unique laugh?
I love you. So
Well, sometimes when you laugh like really hard, but sometimes I snort.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you.
I'll take it.
Who is the pickier eater?
Definitely you.
Me.
I feel like you just don't like a lot of like basic, like tomatoes and onions.
Okay.
And everything.
I just don't like the texture. It's a texture thing.
And then who's more adventurous?
I think I don't know, you're definitely like I think it might be you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it quick.
I was gonna say you.
I think you're the one who actually like goes out and like finds us things to do, and like we'll go through with it though. You know, I'm very like I kind of go with the flow. You know.
I guess. I mean, I'll take it. Okay.
Who's a better cook?
Oh, me.
All day.
Yeah.
All day.
You have a dish that you like to make?
Ooh. Oh, I've been doing this thing lately. If we have breakfast together, it's just like avocado toast, but it's with a fried egg on top, and it's fried in feta, and it has that like chili oil on top.
So good.
Tomato. It's really good.
So good.
Maybe
It's my favorite breakfast.
Who has a bigger sweet tooth?
Oh, I think that would go to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there goes the last pedal.
All right.
Oh, close.
Yay. Thanks so much for participating.
Yeah,
you guys
course.
ready to show your Valentine's Day cards?
Crap. Let's combine ours.
Combiners?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah. This is the debut of the shared art project.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna do this.
Maybe give him a harder outline. So
Okay, whoa. I don't really have time.
You guys are cooking.
Here, let me do this.
His tape.
Yeah, you double set that tape. I'm gonna give him an outline. Sorry, this is
No problem.
this is what we do, you know, last minute additions, changes, all that jazz. Double set that tape.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And
Oops.
boom. Perfect. This is our card right here.
With a little heart, man.
Whoa, that is so
It's
neat.
this is the weirdest Valentine's card you
Yeah.
could probably get to somebody, you know.
I will be hanging it up.
Have a title?
Don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
No.
It's just really bizarre.
I know. What is this thing? I'm gonna say,
From Within.
Yeah.
From Within. That's deep.
Whoa.
Oh.
Like that.
I was gonna say like love's weird or something.
Love's weird. That's good. I like that. Love's
Yeah.
weird.
Okay.
I like that one.
All right, I have two last questions for you guys.
Amazing.
How do you guys bond over this shared art experience that you have?
Oh, I think when we have the time, we definitely like to do art sessions together.
Oh yeah.
And we pull out all our supplies, like, and then we just get going and we put on music, and it's a really fun thing to do together, and it
It's probably one of my favorite things we do.
yeah, it's
Like,
really fun.
It's just so relaxing.
yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
And then lastly, what do you both admire or respect about each other's art? Or just each other?
I think art-wise, I really respect how much you actually do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't get to do it enough, and sometimes you just like you sit
can
down.
if you want.
Yeah,
to.
I know.
I
But you're
know.
like,
I know.
I want to draw, and I'm like, yes, that's amazing. That's great.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch you draw too.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I for one just appreciate I so much love how big you scale things, like in terms of like you go big, you know, with like your stuff.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you put so much into it. Like everything you do, you put so much into it. You give it like all you've got, and then you want to do more and more, and then you're like, it always ends up so cool, you know. And I wish you could see that sometimes. You know? I wish you could see that
Aw.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks so much for being on today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
for
you very
having
much.
us.
This
Super
was so
fun.
fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
very
enjoyed it.
fun.
Thank you so much for tuning in on this special episode of Artist Banter today. If you'd like to hear more from Long Beach's own contributors of art and music, or follow along for future conversations, check out our website, daily49er.com, and our socials at daily49er. If you'd like to check out Ceci's and Gavin's work, you can follow their Instagram. Ceci's is at Apitz Design, APITZ Design, and Gavin's is CocoArts_Arte. That's CocoArts_ARTE. We appreciate you being here. Take care and see you soon. Thanks, you
Awesome.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Yay, thank you.